Assalamu alaikum. A very good afternoon to everyone and a very warm and energetic welcome to every individual. This is me, Luqman Hakim, right here at Knowledge Share Academy. Today I am going to talk about past continuous tense. So let's get ahead. What is past continuous tense? We will talk about the definition of past continuous tense. In addition to that, we will read the structure of past continuous tense. In structure, we will study positive, interrogative, and positive, negative, and interrogative structure of past continuous tense. So first of all, what is past continuous tense? Past continuous tense, we also call it past progressive tense. Past progressive tense, we call it in British, and past continuous tense, we call it, British people call it past continuous tense. So the definition of past continuous tense is like this. Past continuous tense, it is used to show that action which was happening in the past or which was not happening in the past in a specific time and a particular time. For example, if something was happening in the past, okay, if we are talking about that action, so we will use for that action past continuous tense. If something was happening or not happening, because in the past there must be two situation. One will be action. For example, if something is happening, so for that we will also use structure. And when something is not happening, so there must be two possibilities of an action which will happening or not happening. Let's see. First of all, we will use a past continuous tense for. We can also, then second use of past continuous tense is also shows that activity which was in progress before another action in the past. For example, in the past there were two actions, okay, one was continuous and one was not. So for that action we can also use past continuous tense. Let's see. Past continuous tense also shows that activity which was in progress but before another action. The first activity which was happening will be in past continuous tense. The first activity which was in progress in the past. So we will use that activity in past continuous tense, and the second activity should be in past simple past tense. When we are talking about two action in the past, which happens an action which happened before another action. So in that case, we will use past continuous tense when we are showing two action. Okay, one action happened before another action. So the first action will be in past continuous tense, and the second action which occurred late will be in simple past tense. So how we will use for that? We have two examples which is written there. The first example is while we were watching the drama, light went off. Now have a look here. While we were watching the drama, it's an action which was in progress in the past, but there are two action. Okay, when we were watching the drama, the electricity went off. Okay, so the first action, we will use that in past continuous tense, and the second action which occurs late, so we will use that in simple past tense. For example, we were watching drama. Now this action, we use this action in past continuous tense, and the next action, electricity went off, it is another action which occurs late, so we use that in simple past tense. Next example, when Mohib was driving the car, the tire punctured. Now here are two action. The first action is a Mohib driving the car. The next action is a the tire puncture. Here are two action. Okay, now I want to show it in past continuous tense. So the first action will be in past continuous, and the second action will be in simple past tense. When Mohib was driving the car, okay, it is in past continuous tense. The tire punctured. Now this is the second action which occur later, so we will use the next action in simple past tense. Now let's get ahead with the structure of past continuous tense. How we will make positive sentence, negative sentence, and interrogative sentence in past continuous tense. So for that we have a very easy and simple structure. Okay, if you want to make positive sentences in past continuous tense, so first of all you will put subject, then was or were. With this, we will put a verb, but which verb? Verb ing. Then rest of the sentence. If you want to show an action in past continuous tense, if you want to make positive structure, positive sentence in past continuous tense, so for that we will use subject plus was verb plus verb ing plus rest of the sentence. So where we will use was and a verb. Let's see. I'll give you some examples, then you will understand that. If the subject is singular, okay, she, he, or it. If the subject is singular, then we will use was. For example, she was. Now with that, the subject is singular, so that's why we use was. We will use was when the subject is a singular, he, she, it. First of all, I put subject, she is a singular subject. Then because the subject is singular, so that's why I put was. Now verb ing, okay, she was watching, she was watching a movie. Okay, now where we will use were if the subject is plural. Okay, you, we, they. Let's see, we, now the subject is plural, so definitely we will use were. We were playing cricket. Okay, if I ask you the question, what were you doing on that day? Okay, you will say, for example, I am asking this question about the past, something which was in the past. You will say, I was playing cricket. Okay, we were watching movie. They were playing tennis. So, if for example the next day, the subject is a plural now. So if the subject is plural, we will use were. Okay, they were walking. They were walking on the road. It was all about the positive structure of past continuous tense. Now let's get ahead with the negative structure. Okay, how we will make negative sentences in past continuous tense. First of all, we'll put subject. Subject can be singular, plural. For that we will use different. If the subject is he, she, it, we will use was. If the subject is plural, we will use were. Let's see. Subject plus the same, was or were, then not. Then with that we will use verb ing and then rest of the sentence. If the subject is singular, we will use was. She was not watching the drama. Okay, now she is subject, the subject is singular, so that's why we use was. She was, and now we are making negative structure, so with that we will use not. She was not, then verb ing, she was not watching the drama. Where will put were if the subject is plural? You. Okay, so the subject is we, so we'll put were. We were not playing tennis. It was all about the negative structure of past continuous tense. Now let's get ahead with the last structure of past continuous tense. We made positive sentences, negative sentences. Now the last structure is how to ask question in past continuous tense. How to make interrogative sentences in past continuous tense. First of all, we'll put was or were, Then with that we will use subject, then verb, but which verb? Ing. Okay, verb ing, then rest of the sentence. If the subject is singular, we will put was first of all. If the subject is plural, we will put were. Let's see. Now I put here was. It means definitely the subject is singular. Was he walking on the street? And there will be question mark. Was he walking on the street? Now I ask this question. Okay, I am asking this question in past tense. That was he walking on the street? Now, if how to make plural? If the subject is plural, how to make question in that? For example, if the subject is you, okay? So before you will put were. Were you taking the classes? Were you taking the classes? Now the subject is plural. So first of all we will put were because the subject is plural. After that we will put subjective. First of all I'll put were, then subjective, you is the subject. After that verb ing. Now taking is verb ing, and then rest of the sentence. So were you taking the class? That was all about past continuous tense. If you have any kind of question, you can comment below. If you want to join us, so the number is given on the screen. Contact us, and thank you so much.